Ladies and gents, can you guys hear me? Drop some love in the chats here. We're going to be firing up this live stream, so bear with me 1 second. We are live. Holy cow, we are live, folks. Hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend wherever you're at in the world. It's showing me that there's about 8 people in here, so we'll just kick this off right away. Thank you very much for being here. I have been kind of slumping on the content, Twitter posts, all of that the last week and a half, somewhere in there. I've been taking a little bit of a break. 2022 was a crazy year for me, folks, and really I am in the middle of a remodel in this studio. Let me know in the comments if you guys want a studio tour. It's like a 900 square foot, 1,000 square foot room. That I am remodeling, so you'll see some of the stuff kind of looks different. I've got some different cameras up with different lenses, multi-set around the room now, so it's going to be interesting, looking to really kick up and ramp up the content, the kinds of different content that I create. So let's get right into it, folks. Let's sink right into the market, and really, we're seeing a nice little green day today. This was refreshing, especially with the Bitcoin close, things like that. We'll check that out in just a second, but we are seeing the markets green. I like kicking off the week like this. Bonk, on the other hand, is down 14%. Let me know in the comments or the live chat. Did you get into Bonk? Did you make any money? Did you lose any money? What are your thoughts on it? It's going to be the next thing on Solana. Big shout out to the live chat right now. We got Braden in here. Thanks for joining. Fake news. Yeah, so we got Braden saying crypto will be wild since our government is now going to be a wild roller coaster. I agree. Yeah, I'll have to do a tour here. I'm like in this situation. Do I want to get the floor tiled? Do I want to put in floor heat into it? I mean, how far do I want to go with this? So let's just kind of look at some things here. Let's just start off with Bitcoin. So bear with me 1 second while I pull this up. We got Bitcoin here, folks. Let me know if you guys are holding Bitcoin. I personally am not holding any Bitcoin. Now, I caught a lot of flack for this on Twitter. And I think it was BitBoy Crypto was, hey, are you bullish or bearish on the markets? Where do you guys think it's going to go? Where do you think these markets are going to be in the next year or something like that? And a lot of people, I'm super bullish right now. It's not financial or trading advice, but I'm super bullish right now. I've even got my Pineapple Punk NFT shirt on for this video. But when I dropped this tweet, and I don't have it, this was what I put up there. And I wanted to just go ahead and make some sense of this, simply because, where are we going to see these crypto markets in the next year or so? Well, when we look at this very bottom point here in 2015, I ended up throwing down a very nice Fibonacci extension. And when I ran this extension up to the current lows here, you can see how well price action really played within this Fibonacci channel. So right there, you can kind of see it touched down on this channel here, resistance here. You guys can kind of see how well it's really price is adjusting to this Fibonacci channel. So if this is the bottom of the bear market that we've been in now for over a year, 14 months, folks, we've been in a bear market. It's hard to believe. But when we go ahead and clone this run after the whole coronavirus crash, you can see how price just kind of shot up. And people are saying, oh, well, they printed all this money and stuff like that. Well, here's the catch, folks. Yes, they did print all this money, but they haven't stopped printing the money. And that money that they did print hasn't gone really anywhere. It's still out there. We're seeing interest rates get adjusted higher, so it's kind of reducing that a little bit, but we still have massive inflation, so there's massive amounts of money out there. They're literally printing it out of thin air. But after the coronavirus crash, really when it comes down to it, I think a lot of people probably were not expecting this. And really what I did was I just simply cloned from this point right in here, this low, all the way up to this high when we hit like 65K. And that's all this clone is right here. So when I'm dropping the mic and saying that it's possible that we could see Bitcoin maybe come up to 111, 115K by February 2024, man, oh man. Like, it's not financial or trading advice, but it is possible because we've seen this happen before. Right now, Bitcoin is 117,000. I almost said 171,000. How do you like that? Here we go. So we've got some nice bullish engulfing here on the weekly close. It just closed. So we're looking at 7 days, 0 hours. And this candle is engulfing this green spinning top. So what we're seeing here is this symmetrical triangle squeeze on Bitcoin. And we're seeing right now a breakout to the upside happen live. And it looks like we got ICP Millionaire in the house. ICP to the moon. Thanks, brother. Thanks for that super chat, too. You didn't have to do that. But where is the price going to go from here? Okay? Well, we need to figure that out. If we think that price is going to go on a multi-week run, perhaps we could see price run up to this 200 moving average, which would be exactly where I want to see this thing run. But this may not happen for several weeks. Here we can see that in the last bull run, we saw price really move over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, to cover that same amount of ground. So, I would say by, end of February, we could be seeing a $25,000 Bitcoin. I do think that we're going to see, hopefully, if that happens, we're going to see this 50 moving average come and sway like this. And I'm hoping that we can get the price of Bitcoin to really squeeze through. Bear with me 1 second. I got TradingView going buck wild. I'm just going to go ahead here and clear all this stuff. I'm hoping that we can get price to kind of squeeze through this little soft spot in the Ichimoku cloud. And this might not happen till April, June, somewhere in there. With Bitcoin right now, folks, really, it is what it is. We do have a falling wedge, more importantly, that we need to recognize. So there could be some more resistance right around this $18,827-ish level. And here's the deal. I need to throw up a little Fibonacci extension. And what I'm going to be looking for is like the 50% line right here, somewhere in there. Let's go. Okay. 382. Yeah, I don't know. I am bullish, though, on this price pattern, on this formation that's happening right now, though. So I do think that there's this chance that we could see this price really start to come up to this 200 moving day average if this plays out. So I'm hoping that we can break through this falling pattern. Don't forget, folks, to shill me your coins in the comments section in the live chat. We'll take a peek at what's going on. But it is what it is. Right now, we're seeing a nice bullish momentum. It is what it is. Let's scoot back to the charts, and we're looking at the total crypto market cap. And this is kind of something that I've been playing with as well. Really, we're seeing the same kind of setup as Bitcoin. And that's simply because Bitcoin is, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin accounts for what? Half the volume, half the market cap in the entire market. So we're going to see a lot of the same similar features. But here's another thing that I wanted to highlight. That if this does happen and we see Bitcoin go up to 100K or whatever it is, we'd really be sitting at about a $7 trillion market cap. We saw Bitcoin, hold firmly about 3 trill before. So I think it's possible that enough people FOMO in to maybe reach up to those levels. It's only like a 6x from here. It might be crazy to think that. Let's kick things off with ICP. And let's just look at this on the 1 hour charts. So ICP has been on this very nice little bender lately, the last like week. This thing's been burning quite nicely to the upside. And right now, price action is testing these trend lines here. And if you're wondering what that is, that is the falling wedge that ICP is currently in. Let's go scoot on over to like a 4 hour chart. And I am hoping that we don't see ICP. See here, I'm just going to go ahead and remove some of these drawings. So if we go like this, if we do see ICP reject from this point, I mean, we could be seeing these $3.28 levels, $3.25 levels on ICP if this folds. But what do we have going on right now? Well, I do think that there could be this argument to be made that there might be some sort of inverse head and shoulders that is occurring here. Really, let's look at this at a super high level. We are going to just clear all this. Bear with me 1 second here, folks. Oh my gosh, TradingView is being crazy. So what do we got here? ICP. We've got what looks like, or what appears to be, this inverse head and shoulders pattern that could be forming. So hopefully it is. And I mean, on a greater time frame, you could almost argue that there might even be some sort of inverse head and shoulders forming, but I don't really like the neckline on that. So it is what it is right now. This could be also, if you guys are paying attention to patterns and things like that, cup and handle. So we've got that going for us right now. There is a symmetrical triangle squeeze at the end of all this price action. I'm hoping to see ICP take off. If it does, you know, what kind of prices are we going to be looking at? This looks like a scam wick here, so I do think that, you know, $4.30, $4.44, that would be nice. But let's just take a look at ICP on the weekly chart, and then we're just going to dial into the daily now that we've got the sweet stuff out of the way. ICP weekly chart, man. This is so good to see. Let's just remove some of this stuff. I do think that ICP over the next few weeks could possibly, you know, maybe even months, could possibly target this section of the Ichimoku cloud. And I do think that this 50 moving average, as long as things keep going kind of bullish or sideways, I do think that, you know, a $7.30 ICP somewhere in there is possible maybe by March. And you guys have to know something, that ICP really, folks, has never been above the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart. And this may not seem significant, but this is super significant. We need this price action to maybe leg its way up and through this Ichimoku cloud here. It is what it is. Let's look at this on the daily. And this, you know, we're kind of constrained from data because this is, the price action was so heavily manipulated by FTX. You know, we really don't have a super clear idea as to what exactly is going on with the price action. So let's look at the daily here quick, and then we'll move on to the next coin. So yeah, daily right now, price is above the 50 moving average and holding strong. So I think in the last video I was kind of talking about how we could have an opportunity to squeeze through this weak part of the Ichimoku cloud. You know what? I hope it does, but we are sitting on top of this 50 moving average on the daily quite nicely. We have broken above it, something we have not done since July of 2022. ICP is not broken above the 50 moving average. How about that? How about that? Let's see here. I'm just going to look at the comment section. I like ICP circulating supply. It shouldn't take much to pump it to $100 in the next bull run. You know what? I agree. I kind of have some price points on ICP, and I'm kind of targeting that $150 range. When it comes down to it, I do think that we have to just kind of analyze previous projects, like maybe Cardano, maybe some of those types of projects, and really kind of analyze what market caps they went to. Like Cardano, I know for a fact, hit $100 billion market cap the last bull run. So let's just say ICP, folks, ends up and runs to like 50 billion. Well, you guys have to understand, ICP's current market cap is at like 1.2 billion, somewhere in there. And that would be a $205 ICP based on the current supply, based on the current tokenomics of the ecosystem. So, I mean, $205 ICP, you got to think, if ICP somehow rushes out ahead and hits 100 billion or 75 billion. I mean, we could be seeing a $300 to $400 ICP. Again, take that with a super grain of salt. This is not financial or trading advice, because we're dealing with inflation of ICP tokens. We're dealing with a whole bunch of these exterior economics with the token. But I'm kind of eyeing. My plan is that $100, $150 range. If we hit 150, I'm buying a new Rolls Royce. For that's for sure. So hopefully that happens. I need some new wheels. Let's look at Litecoin here. I like Litecoin, and here's why I like Litecoin, folks. I like these tokens. Okay, maybe I don't have it up. Let's look here. I like these tokens that have been around for a long time and that have kind of stood the test of time. Bear with me 1 second here. Where is the USD? Where is it? Where is the UL? Let's see here. Bear with me. Let's just see here. I like these tokens with what? Maybe I have to spell this out. Oh, let's just do this. Here it is. Litecoin to the United States dollar. This is what I want. So here we got Litecoin. Let's look at this on the weekly. It's been a little bit just since we've really looked at Litecoin. Here's the deal with Litecoin, folks. This thing could be really priming out nicely. When we look at these structures, I'm going to just explain this structure really quick. When we look at these structures, folks, that have this pattern that I'm about to show you, it's very bullish. So we're talking really about what's known as a bull pennant, a bull flag, something of that nature. We know this because, well, guess what? We got a nice big ass bull flag pull. Now we've got some sort of pennant forming. However, this could also be construed as some sort of ascending triangle later on down the road. I mean, is Litecoin fixing to seat its spot ahead of Ethereum? I don't know. But all I do know is that these lows since 2016 have been getting higher, and we've seen this resistance points with Litecoin really kind of shine or really kind of reject around this $410-ish range. So I do think that there's this chance we could see something like this play out. I really do. So that's very interesting to kind of see if this will happen. Of course, it might take 2 years. But Litecoin, folks, I'm bullish on it. Like I said, you can mine it. I love that. I love being able to mine crypto. I've got 5, 6 miners just chilling behind me where I'm mining crypto while I'm doing this podcast. Fake news says if we hit 150, I'll be buying a new Accord. There you go, brother. Whatever suits your fancy. I'm okay with that. So that's Litecoin on a super high level. Let's just kind of look at this on the daily chart. I like this too. There's a whole bunch of chicken scratches that I'm going to get rid of here. But with Litecoin here, we've got something very good. We're seeing this price take off like a missile. And we are seeing this price above this 50-day moving average. And it's above the Ichimoku cloud. So I like it when coins start ripping like this, above the 50, above the Ichimoku cloud. And Viola, things are good. They just are. So now we're seeing this happen again. But what's going to happen here in the short term? Well, I do think that there is this possibility. We could see a little bit of maybe a flag forming. Right now, I'm kind of catching a glimpse on Litecoin, folks. And we're going to be talking about this in just a second. We're going to be talking about Elliott wave theory here coming up. So we're seeing this little glimpse of Elliott wave theory. At least I think. Okay, I think you could make the argument for this, that there is Elliott wave theory impulse to the upside. Absolutely. We got an impulse wave to the upside. Looks like we just had Gala get dropped in the chat, so we'll check out Gala here as well. But right now, price is a little bit too far from this Ichimoku cloud, and this is why I love Ichimoku cloud. It's this great Japanese trading art form that traders can use to kind of gauge whether the price is overbought, whether it's oversold, and it's kind of like RSI, the relative strength index. You can see when price action, Ichimoku cloud gets out too far from the cloud acts like an alien spaceship, and it just kind of retractor beams it back in. So I do think that there is this chance we might see some sort of an ABC corrective wave to the upside before we see this thing really start to move. We're seeing people kind of start to sell off around this $80-ish level. And let's just throw up a Fibonacci extension here. I'm just curious to see what level that's at. Okay, so it's right up around the golden ratio, the 161.8. We got Bitcoin Renegade in the house. Thanks for stopping by, man. Good to see you. So yeah, right around this $80-ish range for Litecoin. Let's move on to another one. Let's check out Gala, because I seen somebody mention that. I always like to compare stuff to the United States dollar and Gala. So it looks like the last time we were talking Gala, I was telling everybody, watch out, folks. This right here, what I'm about to show you, is what's known as a falling wedge. And at the end of this video, I will throw up, or if you just look through some of my videos, I've got a couple trading series videos out there, and it's focused on patterns. The falling wedge, folks, is this super easy pattern to really kind of look at, right? It's super bullish. We know that a breakout is coming when we start to see this. Unfortunately, there was some outliers here, right? Well, what happened at the end of December and in November? Well, we had the whole FTX debacle, and I think there was some fallout here. We'll see what happens. This looks like a kind of like a manipulative effort here, because when you start to see a pattern this big form, it is what it is. But nonetheless, we got a breakout out of this. So right now, Gala, there was some news. I do know that Gala was kind of fudded a little bit around this December timeframe too. I don't recall what it was, but I do remember seeing people FUD on it. Gala, it looks like ICP chart. It just does. And with Gala, this thing could be reaching for this 50 moving average somewhere in there. Thing I don't like about it is this is a decent size Ichimoku cloud here. I mean, it could run up to 7 cents. We could see a 2x from here. The one thing it's got going for Gala on this weekly chart that I'm bullish on is this red conversion line here. So you guys can see this red line. This is Ichimoku cloud, folks. And this really, when we start to see this tick upwards at all, we're going to see this price explode even more. So the baseline's trending horizontally. The conversion line's trending horizontally, and we're going to see maybe an explosive price move to the upside. Let's just see. Okay, so some price points to pay attention to. 5 cents, 6 cents. Man, yeah, look for that 7 cent area as well. This thing could be filling out some sort of inverse head and shoulders too, so be kind of weary of that. It could you could see a clean cut shoulder like this or something of that nature. Let's look at the charts, or at the chat here. Let's see here. Just brought mobile gaming partner with 20. Okay, so Gala just bought a mobile gaming partner with 20 million users. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for that information. Let's see. Did we do Cardano? I don't think we've done Cardano yet, have we? All right. This looks like my last TA. Falling wedge, same as Gala. And we're seeing, I'm just going to kind of clear some of these chicken scratches. We'll just kind of redraw some of these lines here. But yeah, Cardano, falling wedge. Again, super, super duper bullish. I don't think that Cardano is out of the woods yet. Let me know in the live chat or the comments if you're holding Cardano. I'm just kind of wondering how many people are out there holding Cardano. Yeah, we'll look at DOT here in just a second. Yeah, so here we go. You know, I could see there is possibly a little bit of a pullback coming. This is the 1 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour chart. Man, oh man, oh man, I love this. Clear Elliott wave theory impulse to the upside, in my opinion. We know this because we can kind of chart this one out. I'm hoping that we see Cardano really run up to this trend line and check 31 cents. If it does that, prepare for it to really kind of come back down to earth. One thing we're about to see is a golden cross on the charts happen. So this 50 moving average, folks. Again, I have this in my trading videos as well, and they're free. So I want you all to become more successful traders. Just look them up on my channel. I just released them like a couple weeks ago. But when we see this 50 moving average cross over this 200, we got a golden cross on our hands. Now, you might be thinking, okay, golden cross, that's awesome. We're going to the moon, folks. Here's the deal with golden crosses, folks. When it comes to these smaller time frame charts, these golden crosses, these death crosses, they just don't matter as much. But on these larger time frame charts, which we'll check out in a second, like the weekly, the daily, the monthly, a golden cross or a death cross is much more significant. And here's the deal. Just because you get a golden cross doesn't mean that we're taking off to the moon. Oftentimes, we will see price action reverse on a golden cross. It's like 50-50. You'll either see stuff just take off to the moon, or you're going to see a reversal. Same with the death cross. I swear, folks. And I've got some great examples in these trading videos that I have out there. Let's see here. All right, so let's look at this at a super high level. This is the 4 hour chart. You know, if I had to guess here, if I had to make an educated guess, I would say we'll see Cardano come right up to about the 30 cent-ish level. I mean, man. Ooh, this is juicy. This is juicy. Let's think about this one for a second. You know, this is a falling wedge. If we come up to that 30 cent level, you know, somewhere in there, you know, we could see price maybe drop back down to this 28, 27, or even 26 cent level and then take the next leg up. We'll just have to kind of keep an eye on it. Let's just check out Cardano on the weekly, and then we'll hit the daily as well. Again, this looks super bullish to me. Just this gigantic falling wedge. And here, folks, is a prime example of what I just got done telling you about. This was a death cross here on the Cardano weekly chart, folks. We can see this. The 50 crossed over the 200, right? What happened? Price reverse. A lot of people think that just because you hear of, oh my God, woo, there is a death cross on the charts. You hear that and you see that getting pumped through the news and crypto Twitter. And then you get a reversal, just like I was just saying. It just is what it is. So I'm bullish on this. You know, I would love to see Cardano come up and test this 200 moving average at around 60 cents. And I do think that, just like Gala, folks, there is this opportunity for some sort of move to the upside. I don't want to just like throw a bunch of crap out there. This seems like a great opportunity for price action to squeeze through the Ichimoku cloud. It's going to come in March. Keep that in mind. So I'm hoping that we see Cardano maybe form this inverse head and shoulders, you know, cup and handle, and then blast off here. I'm hoping, folks. So this is our area. This is our time frame. I want to see Cardano up in this neck of the woods. Let's see if we can time this. So I want you all right now, get in your charts or get in your phone or your calendar, open that thing up, type in Cardano, Monday, May 15th, 2023, increased volatility, or you could put reversal, Cardano weekly chart, and then just type in 6 figs. And we'll revisit this. So let's see here. We'll look at DOT. We got 13 people here, so shout out to all of you guys. I'm happy that you're all here. So here is DOT, man. And you know what? We're seeing these same style structures really forming through the markets. And really what we have here is when we start talking Elliott wave theory, there's always like a impulse wave 0 through 5. And when we start to see assets and tickers retrace, you know what? We're going to see a very similar move in fashion. And this is just textbook. This is absolutely textbook. An ABCDE retracement. It's about a 50-50 chance if you'll get an ABC or an ABCDE retracement. But folks, this is clearly Elliott wave theory to the upside Elliott wave theory to the downside. And we've got this very clear Elliott wave theory to the upside. And when we look at Elliott wave theory to the upside, folks, what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for span 2 to 3 as not being the shortest span. So span 0 to 1, which I suppose we could count that as 0 down here. That's where the scam wick goes to. But right now, we're seeing DOT really just do this textbook maneuver. So right now, let's get back to the bread and butter. I want to bring up the daily chart, and I'm going to show you guys this falling wedge that DOT is in right now. So this is super bullish, to say the least. Let's look at this at a super high level. And we can see that this falling wedge, price action on the daily, tagged this lower trend line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times since May of 2022. This is great to see. And we'll check out Cardano here in just a second. So this is great to see, right? Because price is respecting these boundaries. And when we start to really look at DOT here, man, I think this thing could come up and test the $6.40 level. If you guys remember me talking about this conversion line and these baselines, remember how I was telling you guys, when we see this red line start to tick upwards, we see price really react violently. So right now, what's going to happen with DOT is it's going to come up and test this 50 moving average. at about $4.92. Right here, great spot for price action to sneak above this Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart. What I'm hoping happens is we get some sort of flag, symmetrical triangle, and we see dot maybe start blasting off a little bit. And I'm hoping that we come down, test the 50, and then we move up in Elliott wave theory fashion like I was just kind of talking about. So we might see a move like this occur. Hopefully we can get above that. Man, everything I'm seeing in the markets on this live stream is just super bullish. The price has squeezed to the point, folks, where there's just not much room left for it to squeeze. Let's go to CKB. CKB, one of my favorite projects. And you know what? They don't really have a lot of hype and news going for them, but they've got some good project leadership, things like that. And I'm into these coins and stuff like that are focused on kind of connecting everything to each other. So right now, CKB, the last technical analysis I did on CKB was Friday. Friday was the last technical analysis. Let's just look at the 4-hour chart here. So Friday, we had this, looks like we've got a very nice bull pennant that is formed here, and this thing is taking off. So I do think that we will see this take off even more. Let's just look at this. Let's go back to the daily chart on CKB. So bear with me one second. Just kind of looking at these comments here. So yeah, right now on this daily chart, CKB is above the 50 moving average, which is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. But we do have some sort of bull flagpole and a pennant or symmetrical triangle flag that is happening right now. So CKB is in this great position to burst through this Ichimoku cloud and come up and test this 200 moving average at about 0.003475 cents, which would be roughly about a 35% increase. Okay, so Antonio is saying the halving is in April of 2023. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So what does that mean for me? Well, it means that as a miner, I'm running all these machines back there. As you guys can see, I'm running all those machines back there, folks, that are mining CKB right now. So I'm going to see my rewards cut right in half. Man, that's going to suck, because right now I've got 5 miners mining CKB. I'm getting about 1,000 CKB per day. And I've been mining now for over a year. So it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Bitcoin Renegade said something 2024. Man, it would be nice if CKB halved in 2024. So I'd mine the hell out of it. So that's kind of where CKB's at. Let's just check out Dogecoin. Let me know in the live chat, folks. How many of you degens out there? How many of you degens are out there buying and selling, trading Dogecoin, talking your coworkers, your friends and family into buying Dogecoin? I'm interested. I'm curious. I don't own any, but it is an interesting situation here, right? So Dogecoin, of course, we've got Elon that is just like the dog father. And we are seeing a very nice, this is kind of like a half-ass bull pennant. It's kind of a half-ass bull pennant. But we're seeing with Dogecoin, this very nice falling wedge that is happening. Again, we're seeing these same patterns occur over and over in these charts. And this is what I am so bullish about right now, folks, is that we are getting these same patterns that are bullish, right? I love to see these little semi-quasi ascending triangles even. So I'm curious here. I do think that right now on the daily for Doge, it's really pressing this 200 moving average super hard. And man, super nice opportunity on the daily for price action to break through this Ichimoku cloud. Now, price action comes back up through this 200. I think we're going to see it test resistance at the 50 moving average at about 8 cents. But then, folks, I do think that we could see Dogecoin perhaps come back up. And what could we be seeing here? Well, we could be seeing a little bit of resistance right up around this 15-cent level. When we look at this on a bigger picture here, I'm going to just clear this. Let's just say for a second, the top or a significant selling pressure exists at this 15-cent level. We get price to come up and meet it. What's going to happen? Let me know in the live stream chat. What's going to happen here? What the hell is going to happen? Well, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing any answers in the chat. Let's see. All right, this is what could be a cup and handle. Very possible we could see some sort of another cup and handle or something like that appear. But we are seeing these lows get higher and higher. We could almost see the possibility of an ascending triangle forming kind of into the summer if this cup and handle doesn't take off to the moon. So yeah, it is what it is, right? Let's look at another one. How many of you guys in here, or gals, I guarantee all of you are guys. Let's look at Solana. Okay, I know there's a lot of people that were impacted by Solana with FTX and things like that. And really, I don't hold it against any Solana holders, that FTX and stuff was so heavily involved, with the coin. It just is what it is. From here, we got a super nice neckline, folks. And this is almost appears to be setting up for maybe some sort of inverse head and shoulders. You can see that, we could argue this, that there could be something happening right now. And this might make sense because price action is really too far from it's just not in a good spot. This Ichimoku cloud is way too thick here. So I would like to see price action come back down to this $12.70 level, and then it's got a smooth sailing ride through this thinner portion of the Ichimoku cloud. So I do think that maybe sometime around January 26th, right around February, we could maybe see that. So I'm not sure how many of y'all are holding Solana, but, January 23rd, somewhere in there. Let's look at Cadena. I like Cadena. I got to see, I forgot her name, when I was at Decentral in Miami last month, or in November. I got to really talk, or I didn't get to talk, but I got to listen to one of the was it like a CEO or a VP, something like that, of Cadena talk about crypto. It was very fascinating, to say the least. Sorry, guys. I'm about to get like carpal tunnel. I got to, like I said, I'm completely remodeling my set, and I need to have this desk lifted up even more. But right now, Cadena, it is, according to all these chicken scratches, we are seeing this price break through this falling wedge. So bear with me one second here. How many of you guys are holding Cadena? We got any Cadena miners in here as well? Let me know. You can see in previous TA, I was kind of talking about how sweet it would be to see Cadena rush up through this thin part of this Ichimoku cloud. But unfortunately, it couldn't get past this 50. Unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with right now, folks. A big shout out to all 16 viewers here in the chat. I'm seeing the more I do these live streams and things like that, I can kind of gauge where these crypto markets are at just by the amounts of views and people in the live streams. And maybe I'll break open my analytics on my YouTube channel towards the end of the video and kind of show you guys Or maybe I'll do that in another video, show you guys the engagement and how you can kind of track if crypto's like hot or not. So yeah, right now I do think that there is an opportunity for price action. It looks like it's broken above this 50 moving average. So big shout out to KDA holders there. We need to see price come up and break through this dollar level. And from there, we could probably see price action maybe come up and test around this $1.30-ish level. I want to just look here on a Fibonacci extension if this 160.18 or 127 is somewhere up in there. Okay, so the 160.18, of course it is. It's right up here. So I do think around this $1.35 level is where I'm really going to be watching for KDA to push through this 200 moving average. If we can see KDA on this daily chart break through this 200-day moving average, folks, this is going to be super bullish, right? It looks like KDA has only broken through or above this 50 moving average one time here, one time here. It never closed, I don't believe. Maybe a time here. But it looks like 2 or 3 times KDA has only been above the daily 50 moving average. This reminds me a lot of ICP. Man, it just does. So with that said, I do think that KDA, hopefully they get their time to eat here soon. Let's just look at another one. ABT. Let me know in the comments about ABT. What do you guys know about ABT? I don't know if I've ever heard of this one. Arc block. Okay. I don't have any TA on this one. So it appears to me that maybe I haven't done any TA on this one. Bear with me one second here. Okay. So we've got a symmetrical triangle squeeze right now on ABT. We'll make this short and sweet. We're checking out the daily. What's interesting, price has come up and is now above the 50 moving average. This coin or this asset isn't new enough to, at least on TradingView, to produce a 200-day moving average. But interestingly enough, there is a symmetrical triangle squeeze that is happening right now. So you guys can kind of see this. And hopefully we see this price really break out to the upside. I'm hoping to see something like that. These are always kind of tough. When did this happen? August of 2022. There's a huge pump to the upside. So looks like 28 cents, somewhere in there, is the ceiling for this. So let's go ahead and drop some stuff down. So if you're holding this, look for the 13-cent region, 16-cent, 18-cent as resistance going forward. This is a 50-50 shot here, simply because we're in a symmetrical triangle squeeze. Good thing is that this thing's breaking above this 50 moving average. So yeah, expect this hopefully to come up to at least 13 cents. Let's look at the next one. Let's just look at Ethereum. How many of you guys are holding Ethereum? So Ethereum is in this interesting position. And realistically, when we see Ethereum, folks, produce a chart like this, this is like a rising wedge. This is very bearish. If you see something like this, this is extremely bearish to see. However, we are seeing the price fall out of this rising wedge and form this symmetrical triangle. So what's going to happen next with Ethereum? Man, I know it seems like people have been kind of ragging on Ethereum a little bit lately. Right now, Ethereum is above the 50 moving average on the daily. It's coming up to check this 200 moving average. My guess is that within the next week, maybe mid to late January, we will see this little check of this 200 moving average. And this is traveling through a very thick part of this Ichimoku cloud. But if this rejects inside this symmetrical triangle, this thing could possibly come down and check this 50 moving average. If it fails, though, man, it's going to be a wild ride to the downside for Ethereum. If it passes go, it's going to get this opportunity to come back up and try to hop back into this rising wedge channel. I don't know, folks. This one, I don't hold any Ethereum at all. Let's look at Solo here. We're coming up on an hour. So let's just see what we got here. Solo. Let's look at, just looking here to see which one of these exchanges might have the most volume. Sologenic. Okay. Let's look at this CoinX one. This is interesting. Right now, I don't know any history of this coin, and it's definitely interesting. Like what was it? ABT coin or whatever it was. We're seeing kind of like this symmetrical triangle squeeze that is occurring right now. Price with Solo is attempting to really break above this 50 moving average, and this could be in an interesting play. It could come up and hit this 200 moving average, get rejected, but then we could see it kind of rally up and out of this Ichimoku cloud on the daily. I'm bullish on this one a little bit. Just a little bit. I think there's some good opportunity going into the end of January for this to play out. However, I know nothing about this project, like at all. I think this is the first time I've heard of it, maybe. Okay, so folks, I'm gonna wrap things up there for tonight. I just want to give a huge shout out to all of you. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this live stream. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do live streams more often. I'm liking it. I kind of just like going with the flow, especially when it comes to just checking out price action on all these different tokens, because really at the end of the day, this gives me an idea what all these other coins and what all these other assets are kind of doing. And when I start to see these same patterns across the entire crypto ecosystem really form and shape these very bullish patterns like the falling wedge and things like that, that's what I love to see. So speaking of the falling wedge, folks, check out these videos that I'm about to drop, and we'll see you guys all in the next video.